Alright, so we're doing a dub-over of this just because it took so long and a lot of it we didn't talk through. So we started this video by going through all the products and we write them all down. And so you can see us unboxing each of them. We're writing each of them down, and then any one that was like electric or a tool, anything we could test, we had them plugged in and made sure that they worked. So when we're doing this, we're looking for brand names and we're looking for exact wording on the boxes or on like an instruction manual or something, because we don't have internet at the barn, so we can't like look it up while we're there. Something I do want to mention right now, this is the wheat or whatever that we unboxed. It's a plant or something. We opened that box and we pulled out all the plants to check how many there were. Underneath and the bottom of that box, there was like the top, like a part of the top of the bun of like a sandwich from McDonald's in that box. It was so disgusting. I have no idea how long that was in there, but apparently they used those flour things in their wedding, and then someone just had eaten a sandwich and put their trash and their leftovers in the box. It was so gross. But anyway, we're looking for identification things and anything we can, any details we can write down to let us know what it is. We usually take pictures too, so we have something to look at. But obviously my phone was recording, so I wasn't able to take pictures at the same time. You'll also see us pull some of the products all the way out. And what we're kind of doing is doing a real quick check to see that all of the pieces are there. If it's anything we have to build, like desks and tables and the such, we don't obviously pull all that out and count the bolts or anything because we'll be going through it and building it. But if like the toilet seat thing that you just saw, toilet rail that you just saw, we were checking to make sure that it looked like, you know, it had all the screws and that it had the 4 or 5 pieces it needed to put it together. And so like with this, we're taking it apart and we're checking to see the specs of it to make sure that we can find the right one when we look up our product prices. And so we have to do this, get everything wrote down and get the right brands and stuff for it before I can edit completely our unboxing videos, because we need the prices to put in the unboxing. So this technically comes before the unboxing video, everything that's happening in this video. And so we'll play some music for a bit and I'll just be interjecting here and there when we've got something interesting or when I want to kind of explain something for you guys. So. So here we're testing the vacuum, and it was kind of gross because we didn't like put the hoses all together and everything. so it just kind of blew all the dust up into the air. We're also at this point testing the mini fridge. It has both a cooling and heating feature, so we had to check the cooling feature, and then we had to let it cool down for half an hour before we could check the heating feature. With this Borox, it's actually four boxes, maybe five boxes that are good, and the others are a little bit, dusty and things because they've been damaged. Um, Someone suggested that it could be used to make slime, so if someone was interested in like mass slime production, if you've got a kid that loves slime, that might be something you're interested in. Um, I'm looking for the keyboard because that's one that we spent quite a bit testing. Um, it's coming up soon anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and explain it to you guys. So the keyboard, as a keyboard, functions. Um, it took us quite a bit to figure out like exactly what the buttons correlated to. Um, I can't remember exactly what they were, but it was like they had them labeled weirdly, and it took us quite a bit to figure it out. So it was like tone, and that meant like the different musical instruments, different things like that. Oh, here's the piano. Um, what is wrong with this piano is the LED display. So you can kind of see it where it's lighting up blue. It doesn't register anything. So like it's supposed to, when you play a key, it's supposed to light that up in the display. Um, and there's a couple other things you're supposed to be able to use it as, like numbers, like when you put in the numbers for the song you want it to play or the instrument you want it to play. And then there's a play along feature where like on the LED screen, it would light up the keys you're supposed to play and then you can play along with it. That doesn't work. But everything else works fine. It operates as a keyboard. So we're going to sell this as at a reduced price. Um, in the video, the unboxing video, we just put the full price of it. We didn't bother planning out the reduced price or anything yet. We'll do that later when we actually post the items. But yeah, the LED display, it lights up, but there's something wrong with it where it doesn't register or light up or display as it should. Um, but all the instruments that it's supposed to mimic, if you've ever had a keyboard with mimicry. Oh, and there's Dad. Um, if you ever had a keyboard, you know that it like mimics different instruments sometimes. All of that works. It's got songs pre-programmed in it. All of those work. Um, it's got different beats programmed in it. All of that works. The only thing that doesn't work is the LED display. This air purifier is another thing that we were having trouble getting working. So what happened is it doesn't come with a filter. And so unless there is a filter in it, it doesn't work. So I'm not 100% sure if we're going to buy a filter and put it in. If so, I'll make sure to specify that in the marketplace listing. If not, literally the only thing that needs to happen is it needs a filter. Um, there's a mechanism on the inside. I don't know if it's in the video or if it got cut, but my dad and my brother like triggered the mechanism so it thought there was a filter in there and then it ran perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. It just needs a filter. Um, and as far as whether we'll put a filter in it or not, you'll have to look at the marketplace listing to see what we decide to do with that. So we are about done with the product write down. You can see it here. They're triggering the feature and it's working. So we're about done with the product product write down. That object, we still have no idea what it is and no idea how to look it up. Dad's been trying off and on for a couple days to look it up, but we have no idea. So this is a couple hours later. This is what I wrote down. You can stop and pause it if you want it, but honestly, it's just a list of the products and like some of it has like little details, so it helps me look it up. All right, so this is how we do our whole thing. So I have these sheets made up in Google Docs or Google Sheets, whatever it's called. And we go through and we put all the products, list all the products, and then we list the price of the product. When we find it new, the sheet automatically, in the next column, we have it set up so that it automatically puts 60% of the cost in. And then I go through and adjust some of them. So like if 60% is $57, I might pump it down to 55 just to make it even. Um, and then there's sometimes where we only want to do 50% of the product, or like the keyboard, we'll go through and edit that. And we didn't in this video just so I can show you exactly how it's done. And like I said, we haven't calculated how much we want to bring it down yet. Um, but like the keyboard, I would go and edit that and put it at like 40%, or if it was something that was like really broken and only for parts, I might put it at 30%, whatever we're going to do. So those I might edit, but for the most part, we just have it set up where it automatically takes 60% of the original listing prices on Amazon. That way it kind of does the work for us. And so then at the bottom, you can't see it yet, but at the very bottom of the list, there's a total. And so when we put in the Amazon listed pricing, it totals all that up for us. And then it totals all the 60% up for us. So that shows us how much was actually on our pallet price-wise. And it shows us how much we should, at the absolute most, at the absolute best case, this is how much we're going to make. Now we do not expect to make that much because, like I said, some products aren't going to sell at 60%. Some products we are going to bump down to 50%. Some products we're going to bump down to 45%. But that is like absolute most that we could make off this pallet is this. And so we have that total. Then we have a line for where the products are listed. Right now we only do Facebook Marketplace, but we also have it set up so we can also add like eBay eventually, if we ever have products that aren't too expensive to ship, or products that we could have the shipping costs covered in, however we want to work that. We have a Craigslist. We've got Dinkies, which is the auction we were talking about. I do need to make a section for the guy who said we could bring him his products, bring him our products if they didn't sell, but that would fall in line with Dinkies. We have a letter code for personal, so like if it was a friend of the family or a family member, or if we decided to keep it, we'll put a P for personal. If the product was broken, we put a B for broken. And we've got a little code. It's off to the side of the sheet right now, so you won't be able to see it. But we just go through and we list where we've listed the products. And that also helps us keep track. We can scan through pretty quickly and see like, oh, we haven't even listed the Borax yet. So we need to go and do that. The next column over is the actual sale price, so what we actually sold it for, whether that's the 60%, whether that was, they contacted us and was like, instead of $60, will you take 50? And that was still, 55% of the product, so we agreed. Then we would put the 55 in there, whatever we sell the product for. And then in the line next to that, we put where we sold the product, whether it was personal, whether it was Facebook, whether it was Craigslist, where we sold it. The line beside that is for the date we listed the product. And this is to help us on the back end to look at these things and be like, okay, so it took us 3 months to sell this product at this price. We got another one of these products. Let's bump the price down a little and see if it sells faster. So we list the date that we listed the items, and then we'll put the date that we actually sold the items. And that's just for us on the back end to be able to look at it and see how long is it taking us to move these products? How long is it taking us to get rid of all the products from this pallet? So that's what the Excel sheet looks like. Um, so on the other side, you are seeing me right now go through these Amazon listings. Um, going through Amazon looking for the products that we have. So generally I can just use the keywords and then usually have a photo of the products to kind of help. In this one, I didn't have a photo of the product, but I did have my other computer off to the side. That's kind of what I'm glancing at every so often. It's got the video I recorded pulled up, so I am able to scan through that video occasionally if I need to and see what the product actually looked like. And Dad actually did find a couple products off this skid. We weren't going to have him do that because, and you can see right there on the Excel sheet, there's what do you call that? Ledger? No, legend? The little letters and what they stand for, just to help us remember. I'm filling in right there the little personal items we're keeping and the broken items. And then, right, the full product sale, like when we fully sold it, there is a total box under that too. So like I said, if we sold something for $55 instead of $60, the actual sale price is calculated at the bottom too. And we usually put on the bottom of the sheets, I forgot to on this one, what our break even on the pallet is, just so that we can remember. And so then when we hit that break even number, we know that the rest is profit. Dad actually did look up, what I was saying is Dad actually did look up a couple of these products on his own before we did the video. I just looked them up again just for the video. But yeah, he did look a couple up for us. Yeah, so that's generally how we do this. It usually takes me 3 or 4 hours to find all these products and make sure you're getting the right one. And there is a couple times that we get the wrong products, and after I like go and actually build the product, I'm like, that's not what I looked up at all. And so then we have to go through and edit the sheets, edit the papers. So yeah, that's what we do. And the next step is listing them. And so I'm giving you a closer look at our Google Sheet. You can see right there the total price of all the products listed on Amazon, and then the price that we would list it for, and beside that is the sale price. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.